As a nation, we spend around £65 billion every single year on our economic and social infrastructure.
It's been known for many years that procuring on price alone has led to the race to the bottom.
There's been too much emphasis historically on just looking at lowest cost wins.
If we try and buy cheap, then we're not delivering value. We're not delivering that economic growth that can come from that investment.
Although it's been known for many years, industry seems unable to do anything about it.
We're not supporting the environmental objectives we have as a society, and we're not delivering social value to the workforce, the citizens of this country. So the real opportunity is to make value-based decisions that drive better performance over the whole life of assets, not a race to the bottom, not cheapness, something that makes us proud to be part of the sector, and we can be proud of the assets that we've designed, built and operated.
So in terms of bringing the Value Toolkit to life, we really started out on a journey of bringing people together. We recognised that the Transforming Construction Challenge had quite a job on its hands. We had a remit of driving systemic change within the built environment, and we knew we couldn't do that alone.
And I think that bringing together of government and industry under the auspices of the Transforming Construction Challenge really gave us a way forward to develop it, which meant that it had massive industry buy-in, but it also has government support.
So what we did was bring together all of the industry's experts from a technical perspective, from those with influence and those with extensive networks, to ensure that we were building a toolkit that was robust, that had the buy-in of the sector, and that could be delivered at scale.
The Value Toolkit has involved a collaboration of probably well over 300 or so individuals and organisations.
We set out with an ambition to have around 25 organisations sign up, become facilitators and test the Value Toolkit with their clients.
It's taken us probably about 9 months to a year to initially develop the whole process. We then put it out for industry testing for about 6 or 7 months last year.
We're a small team at the Construction Innovation Hub, so as the numbers started to tick up over 100, we did get slightly nervous, but I think that in itself demonstrates the appetite for change within the sector. We ended up with over 140 piloters.
And during that phase, industry were testing it for us on real projects, and they've given us that feedback. We've now looked at that, reviewed that, and gone through a refinement phase where we've adapted the process, streamlined it to make it more effective and easy to use on projects.
There is a need to train a lot of audiences on the Value Toolkits. Foremost, we're developing an in-person training course for Value Toolkit facilitators. We're also developing some training for commercial professionals and supply chain contractor audiences. And we're also developing a Harvard teaching case which is directed at senior leadership. Underpinning all of this, we're developing a set of training standards, and we're also developing a set of requirements that could be used to build up future certification schemes.
In terms of what I'm most proud of from the Value Toolkit's journey, I think it's been the appetite that industry has shown for finding new ways and better ways of working that ensure we are really delivering better outcomes for society and the natural environment. I'm really proud of that.
Government wholeheartedly encourages the sector to adopt Value Toolkit where they can, and all of the innovations of the Transforming Construction Challenge.
We're already looking at whole life carbon decision making and other big picture issues. The Value Toolkit will help us prioritise those, but also bring in smaller, less well-known, perhaps more complex problems.
For the construction sector, the Value Toolkit is really important, especially at this time where we're recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. So actually we see businesses start to innovate and use new methods and processes. And this is a real opportunity for businesses to now look at value decision making. So using a Value Toolkit, having these open discussions with both clients, with those in the contractors, in the industry, we'll actually start to see a lot better value in the projects that we're designing.
It's a real opportunity to break down the silos between the construction industry, project design, engineering, and actually get a far more systems approach with planning.
The Toolkit is a game-changing initiative for everyone working in the built environment. Government is an enabler and a partner and somebody who wants to work alongside the industry, but ultimately the decision-making power is with the sector itself. You all and your colleagues in the sector as a whole have the agency to make things like this a reality and to push them forward.
I hope to see value rolled off the tongue as readily as price is now.
I think for anything to have success, you need both top-down and bottom-up action. So in the government's instance, we do need them to mandate the use of the Value Toolkit.
It's all about, in our view, raising awareness of the benefits of looking at a project in a much wider perspective than just cost.
So it's quite fundamental to move to value-based decision making because it's going to improve the way that we look at construction. It's going to improve our construction processes, whereas historically we've had a focus on cost and time as being the fundamental drivers, and we've lost out on key elements such as value, such as the environment, such as people.
So society as a whole will gain, we'll have a much more sustainable built environment. And for people working in industry, they'll have better jobs and more secure profit margins and so forth to really form the basis of a more sustainable industry.
For me, the Value Toolkit is about making sure that projects succeed, about making sure we spend far more time thinking about what we want to try and achieve for society, and in spending more time at that very early phase of working out the outcomes and how we're going to achieve them, we will solve basically the cost and programme issues that clients have traditionally been really concerned about.
I hope to see every single project in the United Kingdom and many worldwide using value-based decision making to drive their choices. How do we improve social value? How do we drive a path to net zero? How do we deliver better value for money? I want value, and I want value-based decisions to be the norm rather than the exception.